Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Firepower Podcast. This is a podcast on Firepower, a comic book series by Robert Kirkman, Chris Samnee, Matt Wilson, and Russ Wooten. Today, I'm your host, Bash, and I'm joined by my friends, Addie and Charlie. How are you guys?
Doing good. It's been a while with Christmas and the holiday season, but we're excited to get back into it. And we're almost done with this arc. We're doing 10 and 11 today, and they're pretty exciting. I'm excited to talk about them. How about you, Charlie?
Yeah, these are definitely some action packed, some big stakes going into this one. But no, I've been doing good. Happy New Year. Kind of the new first cast, I guess, of the year. Just got back from Portugal this past week, the Azores Islands. Just kind of went on family vacation. Haven't been able to do since like the start of COVID, so it was kind of nice getting out of this cold weather for a bit. And yeah, explored some volcanoes and ate some good food and yeah, did some pretty cool stuff. So glad to be back talking about some firepower. And actually, it was funny because on my trip, like, I'll send you guys some pictures after, but like the landscapes, they very like it actually reminded me like of firepower, like some of the mountains and shit. I was getting some of those vibes a lot. So yeah, no, it's good. Can't wait to be back and can't wait to talk about these ones for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds like a super fun time. Uh, the Firepower issues that we're reviewing today are going to be issues 10 and 11, so another twofer. I mean, issue 10, pretty quick issue, mostly action. But yeah, I remember, obviously this is a podcast that is not releasing as the episodes or as the issues released because it came out after the series has well been established and released many issues in. So I want to say that when I first saw this cover as it was coming out, I thought it was an awesome cover. Really, it's like 50 Shades of Orange almost, but it's a great cover, and I really felt like it was escalating. I really like these covers showing Owen and his like his his suit. I just want to give massive credit to the entire creative team with this opening page. I mean, what a way to open a comic book. You just get Owen there reflecting, or is it Magwang? It's Magwang there reflecting,
Yeah.
talking to Owen. And yeah, just the blues. And we've talked about this before. We've raved about Chris Samnee. But we also want to rave a little bit about Matt Wilson because not only is he an Eisner Award-winning colorist, but I mean, look at that first page.
Amazing. And it fits the vibe too, because you could tell Magwang is sad, reflecting on himself, reflecting on the past few years since Wei Lun left the temple. And it's all very like it's a very somber moment that is even more accentuated by Matt Wilson's colors right there.
Yeah, we get actually some big like Magwan moments like in this arc here. Like he kind of like takes a step up, and this is just kind of him like yeah, just accepting all of what he's done and like that scene, like not spoiling too later, where he tries to get everyone else to do this same thing, like kind of just accept they messed up and moved on. Like it's no, it's really cool to see. And yeah, the sky just looks beautiful, like way those colors really are. And like the next page, even like the silhouettes and stuff just really sets the mood. And Mugwan, like I don't know, I just can't get over like how much he's improved, like as a character for me personally. Like just how much I hated him at first. Like he was just a dick, and now he's just become one of the most compelling characters in the
It's
book.
definitely the
So
hair. The hair
it's
gave
gotta
him
be.
Helped
It's
too.
character
gotta be. It's
development.
gotta
Yeah.
be.
For
You're
for
right.
someone who stayed at the temple until very recently, he's one of the only people that still has hair. And I think it's safe to say he has had one of the biggest character progressions so far.
Yeah, wait, he was the guy that we were talking about at the beginning. Like this guy's
He's a
always had
bully.
hair, right?
No, he was
No,
bald.
no, he was
Oh,
bald,
he
yeah.
was bald. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I thought there was one person, and I was like, well, how did they get away with not burning off their hair? But okay, maybe I'm mistaken. But no, this costume too, like it's really cool. And I love like we hear Chris Samnee in the RC Coda, like talking about how he likes drawing it. It's simple enough, like it doesn't seem like it's not like those Jordans where it take like a crap ton of time to draw and not a ton of details, but it's just like super sleek, like super clean. Yeah, just really simple and nice to look at. So
Yeah. Yeah, great page. We get the redemption of Ma Guang, which has been kind of been set up throughout the story for a while now, but it's nice to finally get his big moment, give him a few of his own pages. And it seems to be a good night for Owen because he goes from, what do you call it? Making, from making up with Ma Guang and their fallout, and then he goes home and he sees a very excited Kelly who seems to want to get it on. So they do,
Yeah.
and it's kind of creepy. There's an edge of voyeurism to this, not even in the sense of like the readers, but Ling Zan's just kind of lingering, lingering
Shadowy
Zan.
figure.
Shit was creepy as
Yeah.
hell. Like, what the
Yeah,
heck?
this is some grudge shit right here.
No, that's
It is very
100%.
scary, and it's almost immediately juxtaposed by a very colorful morning, very colorful setting. So it's a very interesting tonal shift there from from the somber to the hopeful to the spicy and back to the just like the morning joy kind of thing. I love how expressive. Well, I love that one panel with them sitting at the breakfast table and just Doug with his hands in the air, like ninja pancakes are the best. It's a very expressive panel. It takes me back to like reading old Captain Marvel, like Whiz comics, things like that. Just the artwork reminds me of that. Yeah, it's nice to see. This is very much obviously, at this point of the issue, this is very much one of those slow down issues where they're getting ready for the battle, and as we see here, like there's no yeah, that you had your moments, you made your love and you had your moment with your friend, but now it's like, we're down to business. I need a husband. Your fee is one husband slightly used. And Kelly's just like, are you kidding me? Like already, like it's like literally first thing in the morning and he's already on his way to with Wei Lun. And I think the very interesting part of this issue, and I remember when I was buying this off the stands, this is the part that I was most excited to read because I was wondering how this was going to be handled, was obviously Owen's introduction to his new allies, including Chen Zul and all those people who we knew from before that they were enemies because they fought in the prelude. So I was very, very interested to see how that was going to be handled. And I gotta say, I'm not disappointed. It was very straight down to the point. But I like that Chenzo almost had to like tell him like I know it's weird like but like we're on the same side now. I kind of appreciated that because it is a bit jarring just to see all of a sudden like everything is flipped on
Yeah.
top of its head. It's not
Definitely, yeah.
just like it's not you're just fighting with different people, but everything you believed like the temple that you were part of that like they told you this, it's actually not that. It's like we're that. So the whole thing being flipped here is really interesting. And yeah, it also keeps you on your toes because even rereading it, there's a certain call. There's calls to, for example, the latest reveal in the newest issue of Firepower, which is I think 24. There's something that they actually have been like teasing since issue like 9 and 10, so that you see payoff then. So I thought that was really cool, like typical Kirkman. And I
Yeah.
won't spoil that, but if
Yeah.
you're a arduous reader, you'll see it. But yeah.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I liked getting also like he doesn't over explain these characters. Like this new team is just enough. Like you got a sword guy, an archer, like you got the weapons maker. Like it was cool, kind of little descriptions for all of them. But I also liked like you get the little like all their uniforms kind of match. Like they all got that red bands like somehow. So they look like a team here, which I do like. But yeah, the spread of them was just awesome. Like they just lost hope. Like I don't know what the numbers are, but yeah, I like you said, yeah, they're coming and they outnumber us like how much, and then like Wei Lun just saying like we have you, like you're our last hope. Like that was a really cool line. And just seeing Owen's face after like just crapping his pants, like we have no chance. Like I did like that too. But yeah, and then we see the balloons getting ready to set up and get
Yeah, it's
going
like it's
out.
like you're our chance. Like you're the chosen one.
Yeah,
You're
Yeah.
like the boy. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like you're like Luke Skywalker.
yeah. No,
And
it was a cool moment for sure. This is
he's
just
just
a
like
cool looking team. Like I just yeah, I love it. But yeah,
And
it's,
Dynasty
you know, if
Warriors
if I can
2020.
if I can give a quick like gripe I have with this part right here, you guys said these are pretty cool characters. I just wish now that we've obviously all three of us have read.
Dude, Shu is dope as fuck. She actually, like, later on in the issue has a fucking, she has a
Yeah.
thing made out of bones, like
bone
I forgot,
nunchucks or
yeah,
some
bone
But
nunchucks.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
I wish we see more of them. I
Yes.
wish the
No,
supporting
I
cast.
will.
I mean,
I
we
will.
see
I
we see a
will.
lot
I
of
will
them
agree
too.
with that.
But
I
yeah,
think
I do agree.
their
Yeah.
introduction, I will say, was pretty awesome.
Even the what are Chao Feng's warriors called? Like his elite that he sent over.
He has Kanabo,
Oh, the Dragon's
Jin,
Fist or the
yeah,
something.
The
Jin and
dragons, something
Kanabo,
like that. Yeah, Jin
yeah,
and Kanaba and all those. Like after maybe issue 14, 15, we don't really get to see any of the supporting cast or
Yeah.
the supporting ninjas or whatever you want to
Yeah,
call.
that's yeah. I think for I'll, just to be devil's advocate, like the only way I think, and we see this literally on the next page, like the supporting characters more so in this book is the family itself. Like
Yeah.
I
yeah.
think it's definitely more of a family book than even like the ninjas and
I
stuff.
also think like he's still establishing things. The book narratively,
But
like,
no, I totally agree with you though, Ali.
yeah.
Like no, I totally agree.
They're
But I
they're
think
still establishing
yeah,
things
yeah,
narratively. Like it's a book that it's like when you're playing a video game a little bit where you go to different zones and there's entirely different things. And it's like this book is like that where you kind of it's like Invincible too, where it's like it's not exactly like that because you could tell it's not trying to pace itself as long as that because Kirkman has said like he doesn't want to write another like 100 something issue series, but it is similar functionally in the sense that they've created characters that they could go back to when characters in Invincible were created, most of them were created like in a disc. A lot of them were created in like a discarded kind of way, where they're just like in there in the background and they could be used. Like Space Racer, first appearance is in the book that he gets. That's Nolan's book. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's like his
yeah,
first appearance is in a picture. So it's like he doesn't show up to like 30 issues later, 20 issues later, something like that. So it's like that's what I'm saying. It's like he's already established these characters well enough to where he could go back to them later and just have
yes,
like another conflict. So I hope he does that. But yeah, it would be cool to see more of them. But I think also like it must be difficult when you have a cast where you have to balance the development and time between each character. And he's said before how like he wants to commit a lot of time to action and splash pages and Chris Samnee goodness and Matt Wilson goodness and Russ Wooten goodness, but can't do that if we're basically developing every little character. But like yeah, if I think if the series goes on longer and longer and longer, we're gonna see all those characters come back into play in the same way that we've seen,
yeah.
certain characters
That'd
come
be
into
awesome. Yeah.
play. Yeah, in the
Well, even
current
in
arcs.
Invincible, we're currently in Firepower, it's up to like 25 or 26. By 25 or 26, we didn't really meet too many other people other than Mark's immediate family.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there's definitely hope, yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
for sure.
We basically the story is going in the direction of whether the dragon is real, and if it's not real, it's gonna be something related to like the temple itself.
Or Master
So
Shroud
Master
statue.
Shah, yeah. So we'll see if any of that stuff gets resolved eventually. But if it doesn't, or if it does, I'm curious to see whether he has plans for anything after that, because I feel like that's where it'll be both more interesting and more challenging.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. I don't know. Yeah, you're right. Like it's kind of I think it depends like just on him if he wants to keep going. It seems like he has a lot of fun with it. But yeah, who knows? We'll hopefully go on as long as possible for our sake. But yeah, no, it's kind of cool here. We kind of like I feel like we've been getting a lot of farewells these past couple issues, like just people leaving each other. We get another one with Owen kind of just saying bye to his family, about to head off to the temple and take over. They're going to kill the dragon, I guess, or no, they're going to kill
Chao Feng.
Shao Fang just
Yeah.
because, yeah, for revenge. And this was a really, really cool line here. Like Wei Lun just saying, "There's something I kept from you, Owen. Like your parents, like shit." He said Shao Fang killed them, and that was kind of like that was a big shocker, and yeah, big revelation. Kind of also a cool little revelation later. But that was really
Yeah.
important line there.
It's interesting to see like Haley's at that age where she's just constantly like worrying about everyone and kind of like there's a bit of sassiness, but yeah, they have that awesome family hug page where Doug runs in, he's like group hug, and they do the family hug, a really nice page. It's the little moments in the series as well that count. But after that, we're also back to another interesting plot thread, which we see Ling Zan getting dressed for battle, and she's going in the full like ninja garment, and or just I guess just one of the fighters with the helmet garment. And even Chen Zhu is asking her like what's she doing, that she should just talk to Owen. But Ling Zan, and I think she has a point, she just wants to spare him the pain, but also like it is too close to the battle and like it could distract him, and he is like their biggest play. So yeah, I thought it was really interesting, and I think this is an important moment in the issue that we should look towards in the future issues, because
Yeah.
I feel like this will come back around, this moment of Wei Lun leveraging this like opportunity to tell Owen this particular detail right now. I feel like this was planned, like
Yeah.
whether it's true or not, it is interesting that he chooses to tell him that like at that particular moment. It's almost like a catalyst to get him angry to,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
pointing
true.
a
That's
gun,
true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And yeah, no, it's cool. Long-haired Ling Zan looking good there again. So yeah, no, costume's cool too. And yeah, kind of like a reversal of role here. And like in the prelude, like kind of we had the balloons going at the temple. Now Owen's kind of on them this time, going for attack. So yeah, kind of awesome. Gorgeous skies again. I don't know what it is, but like just all the skies, just especially always look cool in this book. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
With this, like, I remember reading early on, I kept thinking, like, Master Sha, and here we are back on the next page where Chu Feng is, on his knees kneeling before Master Sha, and he's trying to get Master Sha to awaken, basically. And at this point, we don't know if this is actually legit or not. But I've always been curious. I feel like there are some supernatural components of this book, so at some point maybe this will happen. But we see that one of the temple guardians notifies Chu Feng that it's time because the big balloons are here. And it's interesting because it's almost like a sacrificial play in a sense, because these guys are ready, obviously, and they've got the bows and arrows and the catapults, like launching just wooden balls of fire. So yeah, like you said, there's this just gorgeous splash page of the defense of the temple with the archers and just the balloons going down on fire. Just beautiful stuff, beautiful artwork from the entire team all around. And as we see, yeah, like there's people getting killed, like the ships are going down, and it ends on a literal cliffhanger. This issue, because Owen just yells everybody out, this thing is going down, and they get you like teased for the next issue. I remember being so tight when I was reading this issue when it came out, because I was like, really, we're gonna end it like I
This-
remember reading
That's a
it.
very that's
I
a
remember
recurring feeling with Firepower.
It's so
yeah,
sudden.
yeah. I remember when I saw like page 5 was like, oh, they're at the like island, like getting to meet everyone. I was like, this is gonna end with like the fight getting started. Like I just knew like this issue was gonna end like that, and it did. Overall, just a fun issue. I thought a good like prep issue for the next issue, which is mostly battle. But
Yeah.
yeah, I
I
thought
I did just quickly want to say one thing. Sorry. But I thought Owen like he's kind of like he's been even Wei Lun. I thought like I guess maybe a lack of technology here, but it doesn't seem like the most I don't know, like the best plan of attack here, just going in with these air balloons, like just how easily they burn down. And like I just like they know like they have these fire arrows all the time. So I don't know. So I don't know. Maybe they just didn't think too far ahead, but or maybe that was the only way to get there. But that was just kind of a little thing I was thinking of. I don't know.
yeah, it was a strange choice for sure. And I mean, I feel like they kind of address it, like they have a certain budget with their network and everything, but also like I think aesthetically it's a good reason to play it because it looks nice.
Oh, it
But
looks fucking awesome.
yeah,
100%. 100%. But yeah, do you guys see anything interesting in this RC Coda?
yeah, I mean, there were some interesting moments. I like how they were talking about yeah, the mistake he made when he was doing the scene with Ma Guang. I thought that was funny. I like the references to Invincible and Walking Dead and Tech Jacket. So, I'm always a sucker for them mentioning that a little bit more. They do mention like Street Fighter and Tekken. So Chris Samnee says like, he sucked at a lot of things, but he used to play Tekken, Street Fighter, and all kinds of stuff. He doesn't play anymore, but back in the day he used to be cool. And that's when Kirkman was like, "Oh, dude, like he was already playing Tekken 3 and he knew Eddie Gordo's
Eddie Gordo,
moves,
spam Eddie
yeah."
Gordo, bro.
Yeah, dude, I was just like, freaking Kirkman was one of those guys. So yeah, I mean, I thought that was interesting. They also brought up Soul Calibur. Chris Simon used to play Soul Calibur, so I mean, he has good taste, you know what I mean? But yeah, I thought that was interesting. What about you guys? Anything stand out?
I'm not sure if it was in this RC Coda or the next issues, but I think it's actually the next issue, but it's pertinent to this one. They mentioned how the cover for issue 10 is kind of a spoiler because that scene is actually in issue 11. So I found that
Oh
kind of
yeah, yeah, yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, that yeah, that is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, the only thing I learned, this is the first time I learned this, that there's actually firepower t-shirts in existence. And then a little later on, I think I saw it was maybe TJ, like from the Invincible podcast, or Bill, maybe he was wearing one and it looked freaking sweet. So I was just like kind of mind blown from that a little. But yeah,
Yeah, they're
bring back
there.
more.
Yeah,
Bring it
they're
back more.
hard to get, man. They have like very few merch or anything for Firepower. It's
Yeah.
not as big as some of the other things. And I've annoyed Sean Kirkham, like the guy who runs Skybound Live and those shows. I've annoyed him so much, asking him to like put more Firepower books in the live show sales because they never do. And then when they did, it's always like the same fucking books. And so yeah, I mean, I would love to buy more Firepower exclusives or just cool Firepower variants or stuff like that. It always gets exciting when they do variants for the series because they don't do them very often. Except, the 12 covers they did for issue
Yeah,
12.
yeah,
Yeah.
the 12 we got spoiled there. Can't wait to get through it or go through all those when we get to
Yeah.
that issue. But yeah, this next issue, I don't know why it felt. I think it was because it was action the whole time, but it felt like not double size, but it felt like a extra size issue or something for me. I don't know
Yeah.
why. I counted it only had like 3 extra pages than the last issue, but it just I don't know. It's just the way it was paced. Like just looking at the pictures for so long, there wasn't a lot of words, but it took a long time to kind of just get through and just follow everything in a good way. Like just being mesmerized with everything. Like the art was, yeah, definitely another Chris Samnee show in this one for sure.
Yeah, great issue. I mean, I really enjoyed this arc, and I never mind rereading it. And just the opening, like you knew it was exciting because we ended on that cliffhanger, and yeah, like they're literally grasping on for dear life. He saves. We see that first of all, one of my favorite splash pages, probably the entire series. Waylon like doing his best Batman
Pretty
imitation.
unexpected.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? Where the
like
fuck
it's
did he
just
get
like,
this thing? But
oh
he
my
was
god, yeah.
prepared. He was prepared.
And you were shit talking their technology, and
This
they
is
have
why.
fucking Da
This
Vinci
was their
wings right
plan.
here.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it must have been their plan for an ambush. But I don't know. Like there was a lot of people died in that airplane there, in that airplane there. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just love like the craziness. It's just so like absurd, but it's in the moment. It's just like okay, like Waylon just turned into the vulture, and like he just saved Owen, and he's literally telling Owen to throw fireballs at catapults in midair, and Owen just like impulsively does, like muscle memory almost because he's so overwhelmed in the moment. I love the page where Magwang just pops in and just beats up all the archers and starts just laying down the law, and I like that he's empathetic and he's almost like because he sees them as like brainwashed, and he even says like you guys on the wrong side, we always were. So I like that, yeah, he's continuing his redemption. He showcases that here. But I also want to say that next splash page, the layout and the composition of this page is incredible. Super kinetic page, and I love how each like little slice of the page gives you a taste. See what I did there? Almost pizza metaphors and everything of what's going on with each of the characters. And like, yeah, there's my girl Shu, I think, with the bow and nunchucks. Like, look at that, man. That's
Yo, I love
brilliant.
how she's just
Yeah.
like bouncing on
Yeah,
top of
yeah,
everybody's
Mario
head.
style, Super
Yeah.
Mario
Yeah.
style. Yeah,
Really, the
like,
sound effects too, like make this page like very good. Like every
oh,
kind of scene has like a different one, and it just
Yeah. Oh, that's
like
cool. I didn't actually notice that. Yeah.
yeah,
Each
no,
weapon has its own sound
dude,
effect.
this is like a great page to showcase Russ Wooten's lettering. It's so good. I love the placement. Like, I don't know, top tier shit right here. Like, truly, this is a
yeah,
great page to showcase like the artist, the art, the craft of the creative talent on this book. Just amazing stuff all around. Genuinely, one of my favorite. I think I'm actually gonna post this on Twitter right now just because it's such a good page. Holy shit.
yeah. And it leads in, won't skip too far ahead, but it leads into a couple other awesome pages. I think you posted those today too. They're freaking amazing. But yeah, actually just like going back, I saw like Wei Lun with that little wing glider, but I didn't realize how many, like I guess every single person had a wing glider
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
balloon. So he's kind of just
I guess maybe it's like a scorched earth thing. Maybe they're trying to take the balloons and crash them into the thing to, like, like collapse their defenses kind
yeah.
of thing. Yeah.
Okay, it was all part of the plan. Okay, well, we like it. We like that. But no, this was, and yeah, Shensu, like literally just, buddy looks like the Hulk, like his face,
Yeah,
and he's
dude.
just like swinging his arm, just
Looks like
clubbing
just
everything.
Dark Crisis Deathstroke. No, I'm
Oh,
just kidding.
yeah,
That's like
no,
the worst example
literally.
ever.
Oh,
He looks like a final boss right here. Just like pure savagery. Amazing. Like, I love it. Yeah, it reminds me almost a little bit of Otley's Hulk, or like
yeah,
even just Daniel Warren Johnson's Duo Power.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
But yeah, just awesome stuff. And yeah, this just reminds me of like that scene in Two Towers. You know what I mean? Where they're storming the
Like Lord of the Rings?
oh
yeah.
Yeah.
Storming Isengard. You know what I mean? So, sorry, not Isengard. When
Twin
when
Towers.
the Battle of Helm's Deep. Yeah, so it reminds me of the Battle of Helm's Deep, just how intense it is. But yeah, I love like how he's just been literally hanging this entire time, almost like literally still continuing the cliffhanger from last issue, a third into like this issue. But looking at freaking Chu Feng just taking on like three guys at once, like one swing takes like three guys, you know what I mean? But
I mean, think about how much strength it takes to throw a great axe like that, have it swing and then swing back at you. That's crazy, man.
Daniel Warren Johnson
yeah,
stuff. Like, oh
yeah.
my god, that just took me straight back to like Extremity, Murder Falcon. Like, my god, this is such a gorgeous kinetic page, and yeah, like that little axe throw, which chops off the glider and causes them to crash down.
That's
Man,
sweet.
badass as hell. And you were saying you wanted more of Jin Kanabo, and I forgot what the third one's name is, but there they are. They've got Owen down 3-1, and he still manages to destroy
Yeah,
them.
he already beat them once. He knows their
Yeah.
tricks.
But I mean, they put up a good fight. Like, these
They
guys
did.
would, these guys would give like Bagwang a run for his money, you know?
Yeah, totally. I mean, he gets saved by, I forgot their names already. Is that the weapons master? I don't remember.
No, but he gets saved. He 100% gets saved by Ling Zhao there because
Oh
someone
yeah, that's one of my
throws him
favorite pages
yeah.
in this issue. Like, he gets a random soldier gives him a sword, but the way he looks back and smiles at that random soldier, it's like it's almost as if he knew that was Ling Zhan or someone special to him.
Yeah, that was kind of, it was weird.
Also,
like, yeah, his reaction, yeah, he was very positive, but you could tell like from the ninja saying Owen, like, yeah, it was someone like that knew him by heart. Like, it wasn't just some random person.
correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't something just like this happen? It's almost like a callback to the Prelude when they were all fighting the Scorched Earth clan. Didn't someone hand him a sword and said he didn't want to use it because he didn't want to kill people, but they said if you don't kill them, they're gonna kill you.
I don't think it was her. It might have been Ma Guang, maybe.
But no,
it feels like a callback to that too.
That's a good show.
Yeah. But yeah, I like that you can see all the heat between, like, all the things that have gone unsaid between Wei Lun and Chu Feng just come out in this battle. Like, he's like, you always talk too much, you know, like way too much. I think that was so funny. But we see like even for an old man like Wei Lun, man, he's got the moves.
Yeah, looking like Yoda, like just freaking flipping around, like fucking yeah. No, he's a absolute beast, and yeah,
True
taking on
Fang
Shu
though.
Fang here,
Like
like
all
that's
like Chen Zul and Wei Lun against him at the same time, and he's
yeah,
still going. Like this dude is a beast. But this moment, probably the best moment, one of the best moments in the first 12 issues of the series, and one of the best moments probably in this issue. And this page I already posted about, like the page where Magwang stands atop the pillar overlooking the entire temple, and he's just yelling brothers and sisters, and he's about to give his heroic speech. I mean, it's
yeah,
truly incredible. If you want to see the depth of Matt Wilson's talent as a colorist, like check out this page. You could see just like little bits of blood everywhere, and the details on their costumes, and the perfect level of contrast everywhere. It's just
it's
breathtaking.
crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
I really don't know how he does it. Like the fire, it just blends in so well together. And unfortunately for me, like ever since Black Adam, this stuff always gives me just like a mon, like going over, like holding up the triangle, kind of waters it for me a little. But I know, like obviously this game a lot before that, but I just can't help but think of that whenever this kind of
Uh,
situation comes up. Was another yeah, and then leads into another Kirkman special, which we
yeah.
all love here.
This is literally like reminds me of I remember Invincible when he was on TV fighting Omni-Man. Like this was the reaction from all his friends. Like you see the
Yeah,
page, where they're all like all
and
their
all the
faces.
reaction. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So this was really cool. I like the touch of like battle scars on everybody. Everyone's bleeding, beat to shit. Like I love the detail on this page. Love Ma Guang having his big moment, full head of hair. He's just embracing life at this point. I love that like the soldiers heeded his call and his heroic speech was convincing and swayed their hearts. So we see in the next page that they've turned on Jin Kanabo and Chu Feng and the rest of his followers. So but we do get a huge moment right now. So Jin, or sorry, I believe, yeah, Jin knocks one of the ninjas in the face, and the ninja ends up taking the mask off because they can't see. And at that moment, Owen realizes that it's Ling Zan, and you get the cover basically of issue number 10 for the last issue. Yeah, so he's just like
yeah,
laying there in the middle of the battlefield, like so shocked, so it turns out that Chenzu was right. She either should have told him, or it was gonna be shocking enough to where he was just gonna like freak out.
yeah. I just picture a Rick and Morty mouth on Owen right there, like just like how he's reacting, just down, like just that face, just like that shock on his face was yeah priceless. But yeah, no, it's kind of like just a shocking moment for him. Like how long's it been since the last time you saw her? I
I'd
don't.
Prelude.
say at least 10, 15 years, no?
Prelude,
Yeah,
yeah,
damn.
Yeah.
prelude. So like yeah, like it's weird because an entire portion of her personality isn't like a big part of his life, a formative part of his life was that moment of her dying and him
Yeah,
having
Yeah, yeah.
to like live with the guilt and
yeah,
move on.
and
And he never really fell out of love with her, right? Like he
yeah,
still thinks
yeah,
about her.
that's the hardest part. Like they never had a falling out or anything. Like they were still in love, and something bad happened to her, and
Yeah.
he was forced to move on, and now
Mhm.
he comes back to this. So yeah, no, this was like I've mentioned before. Like I normally hate like just love triangles like this, but this was like this one really works for me. Like
Yeah.
just like that struggle. And no, it's really awesome, and it's just like can't wait for that first conversation, which we get
Yeah.
next issue. Kind of a little tease there, but yeah, first conversation might be a little awkward.
Yeah. And Chu Feng puts up an admirable fight. I mean, guys, like I said, taking hits from Chen Zhu and Wei Lun at the same time. He runs over to Master Shah Stadium and he yells, "Rise, Master Shah! This is our darkest hour. We need you." And that's where I honestly like you see zoom in on Wei Lun's face and he says, "No!" And then it closes
Yeah.
it pans over to Xiaofeng's eyes, and he's watching intently, and that's where the issue ends. And I just want to say, the first time I read this, I was so mad. I was so mad. I was like, no, Kirkman, like, are you seriously gonna do this? Like, what? And I remember like I had to wait like a month or something until issue 12 came out. And I knew the moment they said issue 12 was going to be an oversized issue, I knew that they were going to save the big reveals for issue 12 because I was like, that's how they're going to get you.
Yeah. Oh, it
But
seems
no,
like that. Like it's a
yeah,
big climax. It's up to a point. Like it legitimately seems like such like yeah, like he's gonna wake up. This is the time. Like it's kind of like yeah, like they need him right now. Like it just seems like just kind of expected him to come out next issue, but they've just been waiting for so long and kind of just this battle of beliefs too. Also, like put a little bit into my head. Oh yeah, maybe he's not actually real, but yeah, no, it's such an interesting character, just this freaking statue, and he's been awesome. Like, and I think was it the first issue in the prelude? Like they like in the first couple pages they introduce him, and it's just keep going back to him, and he's very well done, very well done.
yeah. This is supernatural. Like they talk about in this RC code and this issue, there's like the fantastic elements, the fantastical elements and the supernatural elements and those weird elements of the story are coming into play now. And that's how they like it. And I kind of agree. I feel like as the story progresses, each issue and issue you get like little crumbs of that. And some issues you get more than others, you know, the tease of like those components. But I actually like that about Firepower. I like that. And who knows, maybe after we deal with the current arc and the whole temples and you know what's really happening in the conspiracies, maybe after that we'll go into where his power comes from and the history there. There really is a lot that Kirkman could do depending on
Yeah,
what
that's
he
true.
wants to write, you know? Yeah, and
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Like, yeah, where does that come from? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, be a huge revelation for sure. Um, and yeah, I actually I read issue 12 and I don't remember if it was in that RC coder or this one, but it's still kind of like goes to this one, just like all the colors, how they've gone from like earlier it was all like a lot of orange and blues, and it's just like reds and blacks and purple. Like it's getting darker, like the skies are kind of getting darker as the series goes on, like from the first issue. And obviously it changes back and forth, but like that temple fight, like going back to the first issue, like the skies, yeah, the tones are just like the stakes have risen, like just yeah, it's a lot darker now, which I thought was an awesome touch.
I agree, and I feel like the Reds really emphasize the kinetic nature of this issue in particular. Like there's a lot of blood, there's a lot of swinging, burning, dying,
Death.
Yeah.
crashing. Yeah, it's a great issue, and yeah, it shows you how sweet it is that the creative team has this kind of series where they could just show off and just do a lot of dynamic pages and you know, there's not a lot of static pages in a series like Firepower. It's mostly when they're talking and in the filler parts or in the parts where it's character development or we're having revelations. But in terms of like progressing the story, a lot of it is pure action, and I love that. We've said this before on this podcast about how like it's almost like Kirkman taking a back seat and going like, okay, I'll be as succinct as possible, but really let's just put on display the amazing talent we have here in Chris Samnee, Matt Wilson, and Russ Wooten.
Yeah, totally agree. And I don't know if you guys saw anything in this RC Coda, like kind of just them, yeah, talking about like how much of an art show it is, and I loved how like Kirkman was saying, yeah, it's okay, like the story is a lot more important than your wrist, so I'll just let you keep doing all these cool action scenes. So that was kind of funny. But yeah, did you guys see anything that stood out to you?
Well, yeah, I just want to say that in this issue, there's an advertisement for issue 12, which you know, as them looking at the distance, it's something almost somewhat shocked, and you know, we were all like speculating,
Yeah,
is it gonna be is it gonna be the dragon? Is it gonna be the
Master Shaw is gonna
Master
be
Shaw?
yeah.
Right? Like I genuinely thought like at the time I was like I think it's gonna be Master Shaw, but who knows what it will be? We'll leave it to next time, listeners and readers. But one thing I do want to say is that right after that page, there's an advertisement for an incredible
Yeah,
comic book called Ultra Mega by James Herron and Dave Stewart. Ultra Mega is one of the best comics I read that year. It came out to 2020, I think. If you haven't checked out Ultra Mega, I highly recommend it. It's just fantastic overall, just such good stuff. But yeah, this issue overall very exciting. Has me super pumped to reread issue number 12. And at the time, I was just like, oh my god, you know what I mean? Like the issues, like it's the series is crescendoing right now in terms of this arc is hitting those peaks, and it's all gonna come down to issue 12, right? It's gonna be like a huge double-sized issue, whatever. We're gonna get so much 12 variants, all that good stuff. As you know, Charlie recently posted one of the awesome variants. There were so many good ones. Oh my God.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
many. How do you know how many there were in total?
12.
Yeah, I think he's
12?
at
Okay.
12. Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's a lot. And
Yeah.
yeah, hopefully we can go over some of those next issue when we talk about it, because yeah, there's some really really awesome ones.
Yeah, 12 and two of them I think got ratios. The Frank Miller one and
Oh yeah, it was
the
black and
Todd
white, right?
McFarlane. Yeah, yeah. There's a
Yeah.
black and white version of the color.
I'll have to go
Anyway,
over. I honestly don't even know if I've seen them all, to be honest. So
I
excited
have
excited for
every
that.
single variant for this series, like every single one, second print variant, ratio, everything for the series except Firepower number 12. There's a few I just didn't want. Like I just didn't want them. I was like, they're
Fair.
cool, but like I just don't want them. Like I don't like
Yeah,
them enough to buy them. They're
it's a
not
lot of
like bad.
variants.
Yeah,
That's a
like
lot.
Rob Liefeld's cover. I just don't like Rob Liefeld's Firepower cover. I really don't like it.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, but the Frank Miller cover, I didn't get the regular one. I only got the incentive because it was really cheap at the store I was at. But like ones that I really love that I recommend that you guys get or others get and check out. There's Firepower number 12. There's the variant by Frank Whiteley, who's just an incredible artist. You
Yeah,
know, he works with Grant
it's a good
Morrison,
one.
and yeah, that one you see the Jordans. They're really like well
Ooh, yeah, I
accentuated.
think I do have that
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
And then the Firepower number 12 by Mindy Lee is another one that's really nice of Waylon with the Jordans and the ninjas in the background. I think those are like probably the best ones that aren't of Owen. And then in terms of Owen, the McFarlane one's cool. The standard cover is awesome. The Eric Larson's probably like top two of all of them, the one with the burning hands. And I think Tonchi Zonjic, the variant, I really like that. I like Tonchi Zonjic as an artist a lot, so I really like that cover. I love the exclusive, the Chan CVL Comics Wildlife Live exclusive. But man, like it's a pain in the ass. It reminds me straight of Dragon Ball Z, but like it's so hard to get. So yeah, but yeah, Kari Randolph's cover is also incredible. Like Kamehameha style Owen on the cover, really
Oh
cool.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I've never seen this Kelly one here.
yeah.
Tula Lotte.
Oh yeah, Lotte.
Yeah,
She's amazing, and that
that's a
one's a
nice one.
really nice cover too. Yeah, like it's one of the
Color
very
though.
few
Yeah,
covers that I think that's the only cover of Kelly individually, like just
yeah,
her
yeah,
of the
yeah. I
entire
think you're right.
series. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's also one that it's not like an amazing cover, but I bought it. It's a cover for number 11. It's like an Asian Pacific something AAPI celebration like cover. So I just bought it like at the time. I just thought it was cool. Asian Pacific American Heritage Celebration cover. Yeah, that's the one. And another one that I think deserves.
Oh yeah, I see that. That one looks awesome.
Yeah,
I
and
do like
another
that a
one.
lot.
Yeah, exactly. Another one deserves an honorable mention is Firepower number 1, the second print with him just like sitting down on the
Oh
couch.
yeah, I like
Oh
that
And
yeah.
one.
yeah, that one's just so underrated. And then there's the Firepower image first, which you could have gotten for $1. It has him walking on the mountain in the snow, and the butterfly is in the air. I love that cover. I love it. I love it. It's so like elegant. And the rarest book, if you're a Firepower collector, you need this book. I have like two
Oh,
or
that one
three
has
now.
eluded me for a while.
Yeah, there's a one
And
per store gold variant, and it's really hard to get because not only is it rare because there's only one per store, but also most of the print run has a rip on the back.
yeah,
So it's very
Yeah.
hard to find one without a rip on the back. It's very hard. Like, it's very, very hard. So good luck, true
I
believers.
think most of them have a rip on the back.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
I have two and they don't have rips. I don't know how, but yeah, I've seen a lot of people like when I was buying them, I was like asking, "Can I see the back?" And they were like, "Sure." And there's a rip on the back. I'm just like, you know. But yeah, Firepower. Not many CVL exclusives. I think there's one by Inhyukli he did. I think for 19 or something like that. I think issue 19. He did one. Yeah. No, issue. Oh, yeah, issue. So starting issue 19, they did a lot of variants. There's one by Jeff Smith and Gott. There's one. There's the face variants by David Finch and McCaig. Those are awesome. and there's the Young G, may you rest in peace, connecting variants.
Those are
Those,
great.
in my opinion, are gonna be very hard to find long term. Like if you're a firepower collector, you should try to get those. Those are, in my opinion, like I'm gonna try to get mine framed and hang them up on the wall, like all of them connected, because it looks incredible and it's one of a kind. So yeah, and especially like they were really late in the series. I think they ran from like 18 to 22 or 23 or 19 to 23, something like that. The issues, the variants. So it's not like they were high print. They're very hard to find. Like not many stores bought them. So yeah, there's some info for you firepower readers. And anything else you guys want to add before we close it off for this episode and this issue?
No, just excited for the next one, really. You got that double size, so yeah, should be a good conversation about that, kind of wrapping up this arc a little bit, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
It all goes uphill from here. Like it just keeps getting more and more intense. You think this is the climax we've reached, and like everything's about to get settled, and then boom, there's another twist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it is crazy. It is crazy like that. Like the series just continues when you expect it to just like there's so many times like it could come to like a good conclusion or something and it just like another twist, interesting arc, new revelation and it just keeps on going. So, yeah. Can't wait to see what else comes up next issue.
Yeah, we'll see if Kirkman's got any more of his classic twists in store for us. Anyway, thanks everyone for joining us today for Firepower issues 10 and 11. We'll see you next time for the oversized issue 12, where we're going to find out whether Master Shaw is real or whether he's just an erect statue.
Oh, yeah.
Stay roasty, everyone.